ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brenttime, and today I want to talk about an Assassin's Creed Unity theory that I have. If you have not played through Assassin's Creed Unity, please, this might have spoilers, so do tread lightly if you watch it. I don't want to spoil anything for you, so if you're not planning to be spoiled, please click off, okay? Alright, if you haven't clicked off, then I'm going to explain to you this theory. Alright, so, again, I'm talking off the top of my head. This just came to me. But in Assassin's Creed Unity, your player, the initiate, so your modern day player, not Arno, who's the historical character, the historical assassin. The character you play, who you are mentioned as the initiate multiple times throughout the game, you are never shown. Like, you don't see who this actual character is. And when I talk about that, you basically see the woman you're working for, Bishop. You see her twice, and you hear her more than twice. I think you hear her about several occasions, maybe about 7 or 8. She talks to you. Now, you never see your character, and you never get out of the Animus. Now, seeing your character is completely different. In the aspect of Assassin's Creed 4, you never see your character, but you do get out of the Animus. This game, you don't get out of the Animus at all, and you barely see. You see 2 scenes from modern day that really are in the same room of the same person, and they're generally the same thing. So you're not really seeing anything in modern day. So my theory is that the initiate is stuck in the Animus, and I'm going to branch this into multiple things that are possible in this theory, but you're stuck in the Animus, and she talks to you and says, you know, you can do this while we, you know, at the end of the game. Again, this is here's the spoiler here. At the end of the game, she talks about you can do other things, Arno. With Arno, like the side quests and stuff. She talks that you can do that stuff while they're doing whatever. I can't remember exactly what she said, but they're doing other stuff. They're finding more stuff on Abstergo and their plan. So she says you can go back and do all those side missions. Now that's interesting because okay, yes, most of the Assassin's Creed, other than one, has stated you can do that, and you can go back and play. It strikes me like she never suggests you rest or anything, which seems rather odd, because you've been in the Animus the entire time. And Desmond Miles, a person that was, like, very attuned to the Animus, he could only be in there for hours, and it took a toll on his body, and his mind, and, you know, the whole bleeding effect, blah, blah, blah. So, it got me thinking, maybe the character is like Source Code. Now, if you haven't seen Source Code, I'm going to spoil this movie. So if you do not want this movie spoiled, please do not listen to this. Just click off this video, because the theory very much revolves around Source Code. Okay, so Source Code is this movie. I can't remember who the actors are, but essentially this Marine, maybe he's not Marine, he's in the army. He's in this, like, pod, and he's talking to people from the US, and they tell him he's going to relive this memory. Now, this memory is of a person and his, like, companion on a train. And they're on this train, and this train blows up. And he knows that every time he goes to this memory, this train is going to blow up. He has to figure out who did it, and so he can stop whatever the next attack is. And so he keeps reliving this memory until he can fix it, or he can find out what was wrong. Or not really fix it. He can't fix it. It's impossible to fix. It's in the past. It is just a simulation of that memory from that person's head. You get to the end of the movie, and it turns out that the guy wasn't actually in this pod that's in, like, you know, Antarctica or whatever, like he's been told. His brain actually imagined that. He was actually, like, nearly killed from an IED or something like that, and they were keeping his body alive because his brain was still fully intact. They hooked him up to this machine, and he was doing these reliving these people's memories that were in this attack, and they wanted to keep using him. So, using that aspect of that movie, maybe this is gonna sound so weird. What if they found Desmond's body when they were going through Abstergo? That's what they were looking for. The two people that were assassins that you actually helped get information from Abstergo. What if they found Desmond's body, brought it back, and then hooked him up to the Animus? That, I mean, isn't that possible? He's dead, yeah, but what if his brain's still intact? You know, or something like the Animus is. We don't know extreme amounts about the Animus, is what I'm saying. So what if that's possible? Now, I do remember in 4 they talked about his organs being removed, possibly. I'm not sure if that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, what if Abstergo removed his brain? Okay. They removed his brain, and they're keeping it alive somehow. Okay? They're keeping his brain alive somehow. And what if they found it, brought it back, and they hooked it up to the machine? And they don't call him Desmond or, you know, whatever, because they don't want to confuse him. Because, yeah, they don't want his old memories to come back. This is a very out there theory, and I highly doubt it's correct. But I think we have to assume either way the character that's in there is permanently attached to it, or, you know, just always going to be attached to it. He can't leave. I think that's a very apparent theme. He's permanently attached to this Animus, and I don't know why. Now, the reason, one of the reasons I would say it might not be Desmond's brain or whatever hooked up to this is because Arno isn't a relative of Desmond. But then that leaves the question, who is he a relative of? And I don't know. I think it matters because I do know this is not this first assassin that was not a relative of Desmond. This is actually the third of 4. Shay from the new Assassin's Creed Rogue, and the Assassin's Creed PS Vita game or PSP game, whatever it was, that then translated to a PC game. I think it's called Liberty. I'm not positive, or Liberation or whatever. With the girl from Louisiana, that's also not his relative. And then there's one more. It is, I think it's the one that's the iPad game with the season pass of Assassin's Creed Unity. So I think the question remains, where was this DNA sample, or who is the person that this comes from? Because they talked about that they got into the Abstergo DNA, the triple helix thing, but that only seemed as though it provided the DNA of the Sage, who clearly is not a relative of the Sage. So it makes me wonder, could this just be a random ass person? Because I believe Abstergo Entertainment, they could only use past subjects that Abstergo still owned, like their DNA or whatever. And what if this is a 16's past the past relative or something like that? I don't know. I don't know where I want to take this theory. I think it's just an interesting little thing that I thought of. If you do not agree, go ahead and leave me in a comment in the comment section below. If you agree, you know, whatever. I'm not saying I'm agreeing with this theory. I'm just saying it's interesting. It's something to think about. It's always cool to think about new things in different lights and not always take something at face value, because it's interesting to ask the questions. So anywho, guys, this has been Brenttime. If you liked the video, please like. If you dislike it, please dislike. And please subscribe. I'll have more theories, hopefully. I'm just, thinking about stuff out my ass. So, yeah. See you guys later.